had to drive somebody else's vehicle today, and I don't like driving other people's vehicle for a lot of reasons, but it's really not the cause of this podcast. When you get in somebody else's vehicle, you've never driven their vehicle before. Automatically, this is not me. It doesn't matter how nice the car is, anything like that. The seat's going to sit differently. The steering wheel may be too high, too low. Seat may be too further back. The lumbar support may be on. It may not be. It's odd. You don't know where. If you're not familiar with that model of car, you may not know. It may be blowing 85 degrees in there and burning you out, and you have no idea how to turn or adjust anything. It's just an odd situation. So I found myself in that situation today that I couldn't figure out where to turn the heat on. I was trying to turn it off, trying to set this thermostat, whatever. Seat was back too far. I mean, not too far. But the seat was low, and the lumbar support was bad. Steering wheel was all the way down on my knees. It just wasn't. It was a very uncomfortable situation. And I got about 5 miles out of town. I got to thinking that, there's no sense in making all these changes in all this, because A, it's not my car, and B, I'm only going to be in here for about an hour. I can really deal with this for just a little bit. The brakes nowadays, you can raise the brakes up, the accelerator and the brakes up, you can lower them. The brakes on this vehicle were real touchy. I wasn't used to driving it. There's just a lot of things. I was in an environment that wasn't familiar, but there's so many ways you could take this, but I felt like that the main thing I got out of it was there's no need to make extreme changes in situations that's not permanent. I used to be bad about, as soon as something felt uncomfortable, to run away from it. When things were not the way I wanted them, to not embrace the difference or embrace the challenges of the unfamiliarity, but to just run away from it. And running away from it never helped me. So I think today, in just this hour drive that I was in someone else's vehicle, drive this vehicle, I really felt like it was really good, because I felt like the Lord spoke to me like there's certain situations that's just temporary, and driving someone else's vehicle is just temporary. There's no need to change the radio station. I've gotten back into my vehicle. Someone has used it just to go to the post office, just less than half a mile up the road, and come back. Seats laid back. I let a guy one time take my vehicle. If you're local, you'll know where my office is to do it's less than a mile, maybe half a mile. Come back. Seat was laid back. Seat was all the way jacked up. Steering wheel, cruise control. I mean, everything. Radio station was on a station I would have never listened to. He made so many changes for a 2-minute drive. And I felt like today the Lord saying, and maybe it's not so much for me as somebody else out there, that there's no need in making big changes for temporary situations. It's okay to be uncomfortable just for a little bit. You'll be fine. And I gained so much from just that drive when I had to pick these men up today. I started to take my vehicle, but I'm like, no, let me just take Ronnie's, because he's got more room than I do. And his seat was set differently. His steering wheel was differently. I didn't touch a thing because I knew in an hour I was getting out of this situation and he was going to be back in it. And there's no need to make these changes. So if someone's out there and you're in a temporary situation, maybe you're in between jobs, and maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's you're seeking the Lord and you're uncomfortable, or maybe you're trying to find something. There's no need to change up the entire settings on everything unless you're owning it. Understand what I'm talking about? If you're not owning the situation, there's no sense in changing that. If it's not your situation, you can be uncomfortable for a little bit. As my daddy would say, you be okay. You be all right. All right.